You can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House.
He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish.
Oh, Jim! Stages of grief! Is it any wonder? Is it any wonder why the vast majority of people are no longer watching Jim Kimmel? Is it any wonder why damn near everyone has flushed this steaming turd? November 2015, Jim Kimmel averaged 2.6 million viewers. Now, obviously, this was before doctors at Woke Memorial Hospital diagnosed or injected Jim with a stage 4 case of OMB. Orange Man bad! Nearly 10 years later of dealing with devastating symptoms, nearly 10 years of Jim Kimmel fighting and combating this incurable disease. Once you reach stage 4 levels, once you have been 100% infected with the woke fungus, there is no medical cure. July of this year, almost 10 years after his original diagnosis, Jim Kimmel has his ratings down to a cool 1.2 million. In the span of 10 years, the woke fungus has consumed over half of Jim Kimmel's audience. Yet for some reason, Jim continues to passionately embrace Wiener. He continues to spank the wanker. He is still pandering to a woke audience that is rapidly dwindling. Why? It doesn't make sense, right? Why would you continue down the path of destruction? Outside of being nominated every year for the Huge Embarrassing Failure Awards, the most prestigious award show in all of entertainment, outside of being nominated for the Hef Awards, why would Jim Kimmel willingly continue to be a huge embarrassing failure? Why would he keep pandering to an audience that is damn near non-existent? To be honest with you, I don't think Jim Kimmel is a bad dude. Or as the Trumper would say, bad hombre. I don't put Jim in the same category as someone like Keith Olbermann. Keithy Boo! I don't think Jim is in the same category as Joy Reid. The Jimmy Kimmel from 20 years ago, he would not recognize the Jim we see today. So why would he continue down the path of destruction? The mainstream media is literally on life support. Late night television is on the brink of extinction. With his career on the line, you would think Jim Kimmel would shift direction and try to appeal to normal people. Now, this is pure speculation on my part. I think the reason that Jim Kimmel and the rest of the mainstream media have turned their backs on what I believe to be 70, maybe 80% of the country, which would be normal people and the handful of normal liberals that haven't been indoctrinated. I think the reason Jim Kimmel continues to embrace Wiener, it's his job. That's what he is being paid for. Like the rest of the struggling media, I think Jim Kimmel is bought and paid for. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. So I'm going to get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at Chapter. One thing most people don't realize until it's too late, dealing with Medicare can be an overwhelming experience. Countless plans, rules, penalties. Fortunately, though, there is help available, and that's where Chapter steps in. Chapter is an advocate for seniors to help you choose the right plan for your needs. Chapter is completely independent, which means they're only incentivized to find the right plan for you. Uncle KC actually tested out their services. Mom turned 65 back in January. Now, both of my parents, they already had insurance plans, but had Mom call Chapter anyway. Long story short, Chapter told my parents that they already had the best plan available. There was no need for them to change. That's the kind of honest service that Chapter provides. Look at it like this. If you were wrongfully sued, you're not going to court without your lawyer, right? So why would you deal with the hassle, the confusion of Medicare without an advisor in your corner? Even if you already have coverage, Chapter might be able to find you a better plan. You literally have nothing to lose. It's free. It costs you nothing. So call today, 510-279-3616. Have Chapter find the right plan for you. I am all about having no limits in comedy. Obviously, there is a way to be comedic and be respectful at the same time. But I think one of the reasons that the comedic industry isn't as big as it used to be, we have put so many restrictions on comedians. Comedy has this unique way of being healing. After 9/11, Jay Leno was one of the first shows to return to television. During his opening monologue, he found a way to be respectful and comedic at the same time. He honored the victims while making jokes about himself and his mother. I make jokes all the time. You guys know that website, classmates.com? I get emails from that website all the time. I guess they have access to high school databases, or people from your graduating class add you on the site. Either way, I get an email from them yesterday. A classmate made a comment on your profile. I didn't even know I had a damn profile. I click on the email, brings me to the website. Somehow, they've got my freshman yearbook available on the site. And there's a comment from someone who I didn't recognize. Obviously, haven't seen them in 20 years, but the message says, Fran Fuckknuckles describes Uncle KC as funny. If you asked me to describe Fran, I wouldn't know where to start because I don't remember who she is. I wish I did, but I'm bad with names. That's why I'm constantly making up names for people here on the channel. It's what I do in real life. I can't remember names, but I can remember the name that I give you. The point is, people always remember how you make them feel. Whoever that girl was who hasn't seen me in 20 years remembers me 20 years later for being funny. I can vividly remember segments from Conan O'Brien from the 90s or Jay Leno's opening monologue after 9/11. Comedians have this unique ability of taking something serious or taking something as divisive as politics and using it as a way to unify the country. The problem is, we no longer have comedians in late night television. We have paid propagandists. We have insufferable indoctrinators. Monday night, Jim Kimmel used his opening monologue to recap the weekend. Keep in mind, late night shows used to target a broad audience. Late night is for everyone. But instead of making a show for everyone, Jim Kimmel continued to alienate over half the country. He spreads this lie that Tyler Robinson was a far-right extremist. This kid loved orange juice. He was a MAGA Republican, which makes him a Nazi fascist. Watch for yourself.
with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
What? Excuse me? Let me make sure I'm understanding you correctly. You expect me to believe that Tyler Robinson, the dude that engraved fascist on his bullets, you expect me to believe that he was a Trump supporter? Tyler Robinson, the dude that was dating some other dude who thinks he's a bearded beauty. There is so much stiff wood in that bed in the morning, you could build a cabin that could withstand Whoopi Goldberg's powerful boodle breeze. Tyler Robinson, who identifies as the G in LGBT and was dating someone who aspired to be the T. And you expect me to believe that he was a Trump supporter? His own family claims that he was indoctrinated with the woke fungus. Yet Jim Kimmel wants me to believe that he was drunk off the orange juice. And look. It's not just Jim Kimmel spreading this propaganda. Check out this so-called news report from ABC News last night. This is what ABC calls journalism. Watch for yourself.
And then those text messages, and I don't think I've ever experienced a press conference in which we've read text messages that are A, so fulsome, so robust, so apparently, allegedly self-incriminating, and yet on the other hand, so touching. The suspect reaching out to his roommate, who is allegedly his boyfriend, who we understand identified as male at birth, now identifies as female. And the terminology he used, he was trying to protect him. He kept calling him my love. My reason for doing this is to protect you.
Oh, my love, come to prison with me and we can play a passionate game of drop the soap. I'm sorry, my love. The spirits instructed me to eradicate the evil colonizer, but I love you always, forever. Let me tell you how incredibly stupid the mainstream media is. Not only are they trying to claim that Tyler Robinson was a far-right extremist, they're also trying to generate sympathy for Tyler Robinson by claiming he was in a loving relationship. Look, guys, he's just like you and me. He just wants to be loved. This was another missed opportunity for Jim Kimmel. It was another swing and a miss for the soon-to-be-fired Jim. To his credit, Jim Fallon is trying to change late night. Jim Fallon is trying to make late night television what it used to be. Late night used to be fun. It used to be lighthearted. They made fun of pop culture. They made fun of politicians on both sides. Now, it's nothing but Jim Kimmel and Stevie Colbert and their incredibly unhealthy obsession with Donald Trump. 10 years. 10 years of being obsessed with another dude. And they wonder why no one is watching. You know, it would be one thing if their jokes about the Trumper were funny. At one point, I'm sure they were. But 10 years of making fun of the same dude, the jokes eventually get old. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys later.